The root of all excellence.
Welcome to the Root of All Excellent podcast. I want to thank everybody who's joining us. Let me just start off by asking, how was your, how this week has been for you?
This week wasn't bad. It went by pretty fast, which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
Kind of just regular.
For me, it was like different.
Why?
I don't know. I don't think I got that much sleep. Or maybe it felt like I didn't get that much sleep because I was exercising more.
Mm-hmm.
So once you start getting this age, it just like really affects you. You know?
What?
Like exercise.
Oh. When you start back, it affects you.
Yeah, but I think that the older you get, the harder it is on your body.
Not if you're consistent.
Definitely. Think about it, like NBA players. LeBron got to ice up now. You know what I mean?
But you see those old people that work out like forever.
Yeah.
Those 90-year-old bodybuilders.
Yeah, but I'm not saying, but it's still an effect on their body, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's the same as just being out of shape and getting back into shape.
Right, of course. But what I'm saying is, I think age, it takes on different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it affects you differently,
Mm-hmm.
whether you're in shape or not. So the fact that I'm getting in shape is like double pain. You know?
Factor.
Yeah. Yeah, so this week was kind of weird for me, but got through it and
That you did.
get to kick it for the weekend. So I'm happy about that. Football is back, you know. I'm super geeked about that.
Yeah.
So
The Rams lost.
yeah, terribly
It
too.
was pretty bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
yeah,
Little embarrassing.
yeah. Especially since they just won Super Bowl to
Yeah.
come out like that.
Well, I mean, it was the first like real official game.
Right. So I think they'll make adjustments.
Yeah.
But they was playing a pretty good team as well. So
Were they?
yeah, the Bills is
Are they a good team?
yeah.
Oh.
Like I'm pretty sure they're like top 3 to make the Super Bowl this year. So yeah, but like other than that, you know, pretty good week. I really enjoyed it, and it's right. You're right. It did kind of go fast, so I enjoyed that part. I wanted to kind of get into the Aries Tiffany Haddish thing, right? That's been circulating throughout the net.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when it first happened, I don't know, I was kind of confused about it because, you know, you don't really see Tiffany Haddish with Aries Spears, right? I've never really seen her with him. So the fact that it was like a lawsuit that came up out of nowhere, I was like, where did this come from?
Right.
And I automatically thought, like, is this real? Like, you know? I thought it was one of those things where, like, somebody made it up. So, as the week, you know, came and went, got like bigger and bigger. Right.
Because she made a statement, maybe. Or people just picked up on it on social media.
Yeah, I just think that like social media, you kind of picked up on it and kind of carried it and it made it, you know, just bigger and bigger. So how do you feel about, like, how was your experience like when you first seen it and things like that?
Well, I think I saw like a headline of it. Didn't pay any attention to it just because it doesn't matter really to me.
Right.
Yeah, so I actually saw it on social media, like a headline, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I mean,
Right.
somebody getting sued about something. I don't know. But then you showed me the video, the actual what the complaint was or the issue was that they had.
Right.
The little skit, which it wasn't funny. It just wasn't funny. I mean, I don't think it's a funny topic.
Right.
I don't think it's a funny situation. I think it can be very triggering to people.
Right.
But I don't know how or the background story of how it came out or when it came out. But I don't understand how you can sue other actors in a skit unless it's their like production or what the whole lawsuit is about.
Right. So what I think is like they were saying like she was a part of the grooming process. You know what I mean?
But grooming for what? Like did something happen?
Skit. So obviously the skit is probably longer than that clip.
Right.
Right. So I guess within the actual total skit, and I'm just guessing, she had something to do with grooming, you know, the kids or, you know, the kid into something, right? Because, I mean, based on what I read, they're pretty much saying she helped groom them.
Okay. So she helped groom them for what? Like, were they then assaulted? Like, did something actually happen to the kid on set?
I mean, I don't, because they haven't released a lot of information, right? And then you don't have Tiffany Haddish or Aries Spears coming out like kind of saying anything right now, because when it's like
still
allegations out there,
right?
And it's you know, I mean, when you're being sued, you don't want to say, you know, anything that you say can and will be used against you,
right?
So
but they're wanting them to be arrested, and I guess I'm just missing the part. Like, is it a skit where it wasn't funny, right? The skit was terrible, bad taste, disgusting.
Yeah. Very bad taste.
Very uncomfortable to watch. But I don't know how you arrest the other actors for participating in that. And the kid is an actor, so I don't know, like, if you have like situations where a kid is molested or abused in a movie, I don't think that you're going to sue or request the arrest of the other people that are acting in the movie.
Right, but because it's a smaller budget, right, a lot of times the production is the people in the skit, right? In most cases, you would like sue the, you know, production company or...
But you would have to agree, I would imagine, to participate.
So I'm glad you said that. I don't know if this is true, but based on what I've been hearing, the kid is like Tiffany Haddish's friend's son.
Okay.
Right? So a friend, their kid, played in this, right?
Okay.
Now, that's a little weird to me because, like, this is your friend.
Right. If you guys are really friends.
If you guys really friends, like, what happened to where now you're suing? And I don't know the whole skit. I mean, it could be more kids. It could be just that kid. I mean, I really don't know. But what happened to where now you're suing?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of weird, you know. And let's be clear. I would think that Tiffany Haddish is like more financially stable than Aries Spears. Right. So, like, I mean, you could sue Aries Spears all you want to. It may not be no money there.
I don't know. I guess I would just have to look more into it to see, like, what is what.
And I think...
because it doesn't make sense to me at this point.
Doesn't make any sense. And I don't understand it because it's like, did the kid get molested? Did the kid get like
Right.
touched wrong?
Right. Like,
that
did
wasn't
something
part
happen? Yeah, that wasn't part of the skit. So they
Right.
just thought it was normal, or
Nah.
'cause I didn't in the skit. I did not see them actually touch the kid.
No, I seen him
Aside from Tiffany, like
holding him
shoulder or
on the hip.
like a regular kid situation.
Nah, he had like real like baby oil on his back
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
he did touch his back.
Now, it was completely disgusting to even like watch that, right? To even watch it with like the kid legs is in the air,
Right.
they zooming in on the booty,
Right.
he done cut the holes in the damn. So completely disgusting,
It was.
right?
It
like
was.
completely disgusting.
Right.
But I would say they were trying to be funny. Right?
Right.
Now this is the wrong subject to be funny on, and it wasn't funny.
Right.
Right? Now, a lot of people try this. Right? If you look at now, the only difference is people make fun of sexual harassment, child abuse, all kind of stuff, right?
Right.
Rape, all kind of stuff, right? But they don't use a kid in it. That's the only thing that I feel like was super fucked up, was the fact that they have this kid that's doing
Right.
that's doing shit that don't make sense.
Right.
Right? He playing with a damn in his drawers.
Right.
Motherfucker like 7.
Right.
Playing in his drawers with the thing. And it just didn't make too much sense.
Right.
And then it get into like some extra filthy
grossness.
Yeah. So
Right.
I think because it wasn't funny, because it didn't really make sense, and because you was like trying this goofy ass narrative, like, come on, you like stay away from that part. Right? Like, come on, you gotta stay away from that.
What?
The kid part.
Yes, it's not funny.
We watched Dave Chappelle make fun of R. Kelly
Right.
peeing on a little girl.
Right.
He made a whole song about the shit.
Right.
But it was funny. And he didn't have like children in the skit. Right? So I think like you gotta kind of stay away from that shit, man. And it really shows the lack of talent when you come up with goofy ass shit like this. You would think a person like Aries Spears, who was on like Mad TV,
Right.
you know.
But I feel like this was old.
Oh no, it's definitely old. I think it's from like 2014.
Yeah.
Because think about it.
What are we in?
Tiffany Haddish is not around Aries Spears now. She done blew up. So she's not gonna be around them now.
I mean, she might.
I mean, on some, but not in the skit. She don't really need to do skits.
Right.
So, yeah, like I felt like they were trying to be funny, right? I told you, Patrice O'Neal said something. A bad joke and a good joke come from the same place. It comes from trying to be funny.
Right.
Right? You're trying to get a laugh.
Right.
You don't know that it's fucked up until after the joke is gone off.
Right.
So, you know, and so, I mean, I understand that, you know, it was terrible. The look of it was disgusting. But I honestly just feel like they were trying to be funny and it wasn't enough talent involved, right? And when there's not enough talent involved, you got to kind of oversell to make up for that. Because come on, like some of the stuff,
I wouldn't even say like have anything to do with talent or whatever. It was distasteful, period. Like,
but that's what I'm saying.
Regardless of who was acting or trying to participate in it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it was distasteful because it's not enough talent there.
But even like the most talented person doing the same thing, it wouldn't be that.
No, not in that way, but I don't think they would have done it in the same way.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know where it came from or
But it was definitely
whose idea. It was a bad idea.
it was definitely disgusting. I couldn't believe like yeah, and then mind you, it was like out there. But nobody, I have never seen. Have you ever seen it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't know. But I will say, you know, it makes my conspiracy theory bone tingle because he had just said that shit about Lizzo.
I don't know. I don't know what he said about Lizzo.
Yeah, me neither. But it was everywhere. So like you couldn't. I just didn't care enough about it because it's probably another distasteful, And mind you, like Aries Spears has no room to say shit about nobody, especially like looks.
I don't know. I don't know anything about. I didn't hear about it if it was going around.
Huh?
I didn't hear about it if it was going around.
So yeah, it was going around that he had said like some fucked up shit about Lizzo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now Lizzo, no matter what you say about her, she's talented. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She's done a lot of distasteful shit too.
She has.
But
I think most of it is just her living her life, right? It's a little extra, right?
Yeah.
But people are extra. She's just being an extra person.
Yeah, but you all at the Laker game with your ass out.
That's the extra part.
That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes, and mind you, you're not even that like artist. I could understand if you was a Cardi B. I could understand if you was City Girls or some shit.
Mm.
You ain't even that artist.
Right.
But you want your ass out though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I would trust it out in the seats.
And I was just finna say that. You trusting your ass raw out here on the regular seat that thousands of people have sat on.
Right. And they don't clean them. Who's cleaning the seats?
Right. Ain't no seat cleaner.
No.
Give a fuck. Might have been a sweaty ass in there before you. Right. And you just gonna sit your raw ass in this seat.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's the part where I was like, come on. So I understand that Lizzo does do some things where it's like, come on. And mind you, over the course of, I want to say the last 2 years, it's been like that.
Yeah, but people talk about her a lot. Like even just her like just out here living life. Somebody got a comment.
Yeah.
But I think she's just extra. That's all.
Yeah, but it's not like, okay, and you're right. And I think the reason why people do comment is because she's extra. Mm-hmm. Because it's been plenty of like females who have been like on the plus side, mm-hmm. right? And haven't been as talked about.
Right. And I think also like there are plenty of extra people that are not plus size that don't get talked about also. So I think because she's plus size and she's extra, people talk about her more.
Right. And I think it has something to do with the music not matching up with the personality. Right? Maybe. You don't make that type of music. You know what I mean? So like tone it down a little bit. But yeah, I think over the last 2 years she's just been kind of headline, but I think she's definitely like one of the more talented female artists that we have. Mm-hmm. Right? She played the flute.
She does. Flute skills are on point.
Yeah, and it's like hard, and that's one like thing that the music industry has lost. Like nobody plays an instrument, right?
Right.
So I think that
they don't even write their songs, let alone instrument.
Right. So I think that her music is great, and she make like that gray area music where it could be attached to almost anything. It could be in a cartoon. It could be in a commercial, movie. You know what I mean? So
that's fun.
yeah, it's
fun
very
music.
fun. It could be in a club.
Right.
I think it's just real fun, inspirational kind of music, right? So when you have a person who make fun, inspirational kind of music, and then you doing ratchet shit,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like people gonna say something about it.
But I don't know. Maybe she a little ratchet.
Maybe, but I think tone it down a little bit.
Maybe.
But I think that when Aries Spears was talking about it, it was an attempt to go viral, and it did, but it kind of backfired on him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he said.
Should we review it?
Yeah, let's look.
All right, so we just kind of reviewed it, and it's actually it's like more disturbing than I initially thought, right?
Right.
How did you feel about it?
It's very rude. And like, why? I just don't understand why everybody wants to like talk mess and be like,
Now, mind you,
no.
Now, mind you, he didn't. I feel like some of what he's saying is true, right? But at the same time, though, I feel like the nigga said he was handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, bruh. That ain't working for him.
No.
Another thing is, he mentioned that he had swagger. Every time I see the nigga, he got the same hat on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right? Like literally, put it like this. I know he a goofy lame dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of it, right? When you a goofy lame, you don't know that what you doing is finna be perceived as like, I'm a goofy lame. Why would you say that about somebody?
Right.
Like publicly.
Right.
Right? Unless it's for like, just publicity, right?
But I think like even the statement before it was just that she has good music. That's it. She has good music.
So for him to go in,
right, for no reason.
And I feel like, number one, the arrogance that he have don't matches the talent.
Yeah, I don't. No, it doesn't.
Right. Number two, like he said, he's not the most in shape guy.
Right.
Right. Now, I do believe that, a healthy way of living for anybody, not just Lizzo,
right,
is we need to kind of promote that and right. But also like you stated, it wasn't even about like any of that. It was just music.
Right. The person just said, who has good music? Lizzo. And then that's when he just went off on his tangent. And I mean, yes, healthy way of living would be great and ideal. But I think that looking at an overweight person and assuming that they are unhealthy, granted they have more health risk because of the size and the weight and the pounds.
Yeah.
Definitely. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they're unhealthy. And
I agree.
A lot of people with a different body type are also unhealthy.
I was just going to say that. So Lizzo is big. I know people who are way smaller than her who has like diabetes, high blood pressure,
right,
and things like that. So you're definitely right. Because she's that big doesn't mean like she might be at risk of all these things, but it doesn't mean that she actively have it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just think, man, it's sometimes, man, people be lame, man. I don't know.
I'd say just let people live their life. If that's what they choose, that's what they decide. Hey.
But a lot of people are just not relevant enough, right? So, for Aries Spears to say that, the nigga who got beat up, for him to say that, it's kind of like, man, did you forget? Like,
I mean, maybe he just thought his opinion was
but come on.
more than it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just think that it's kind of a coincidence that this is coming off like right after that. Right?
Right.
So, it kind of has my conspiracy theory bone just tingling.
He said it about the wrong person.
Cause you gotta remember, like, Lizzo be with them people, them alphabet people.
I don't know.
Alphabet people.
The alphabet people. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
And we gotta get on the same page, man. Cause I can't be saying this stuff just out loud.
Okay.
You gotta be inside alphabet people.
Okay.
And they have power.
Right.
And also, I'm pretty sure Lizzo, because she make great music, is very beneficial to a lot of different people.
Right.
And the Aries Spears, you not in that circle.
Right.
So we might as well just finish you off.
Maybe.
Because you already halfway done. I mean, in my opinion, he's halfway done. As far as a comedian goes, right?
And then just Tiffany Haddish was just caught in a wave or what?
Collateral damage.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know about that conspiracy. It might be a stretch, but we'll see. More information will come out. We'll get more details about it.
Right. But overall, I just don't think, number one, that, I don't think any kids was kind of harmed in this.
Well, hopefully not, but
Well, hopefully, right?
I mean, they're calling for the arrest, so something must have happened for them to want them to get arrested.
I just think, when you say them, who are they?
What?
They're calling for arrest. Like, who are they?
I guess the person who's suing. The person who was suing wants them to be arrested.
But how you want them to be arrested? This happened in 2014.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, something
we 8
had
years
to
removed from this shit.
Something had to happen for them to request them to be arrested.
Yeah, I know, but it don't be making no sense. You know what I'm saying? So you let 8 years go past without saying anything? Without doing anything? Then all of a sudden, not only are you suing them, but you want them to be arrested too.
Right.
Like, come on, like, make this make sense to me. You know what I mean? Unless the child that was, and I'm pretty sure, I would think you're in the presence of this. I hope you ain't just let your child go and do something with some people that you think you know, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I would hope that you were there.
Right.
So let's just say you wasn't.
Right.
Is that negligence on your part?
But I feel like you would have seen it come out even before that, though.
What you mean?
You would have seen the skit come before now.
Right.
So, I don't know.
I
don't know why now. Maybe something changed. Maybe.
And that's why I was like, yo, man, maybe this is a coincidence that it's off the back of just like right after he said something about Lizzo, then bam.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It was fast too. So, and now you want them to be arrested, but you just let 8 years go past. I ain't letting 8 days go past.
Right.
So, I don't know. How do you feel? I feel like a lot of people are like over judging this, right? So a lot of times what'll happen is allegations will come out about a person, right? Whether it be, sexual or whatever, right?
Right.
And it could be without having context to it, right? Without us having context to it, we'll start judging already.
Right.
Right?
That's a headline.
Right. So, headline automatically. And I feel like in this case, and a lot of other cases, right? A lot of people, especially on Black Twitter, a lot of people like just jump to conclusions and start talking about how like, oh, these people is nasty and we knew that it was kind of like this, and you know what I'm saying? So I just hate the fact that every time something come out about anybody, well, I'm not gonna say anybody, certain people, right, that people actually go harder without even having context, right? Like, we don't have all the story in this to make for real. I don't have enough to feel, right? Now, I seen the little skit, so I know I feel like, yo, that was...
Right.
Right? That's terrible.
Right.
But I don't have enough to like blame Aries or blame Tiffany, or, you know what I mean?
Right.
But we do have people that actually jump to those conclusions before we even have the full picture, right?
All the time.
And the fact that they only do it with certain people bothers me.
But I feel like people do that with everything. Like, you get a little piece of what you think happened, right?
Right.
So with accusations, right? You hear something bad about a person, you automatically gonna think like, oh, well, it must be true. It could not be true.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That's with the rumors, that's with accusations, that's kind of how society works, I guess you would say.
Right.
Almost like it's definitely not innocent until proven guilty.
Right. The court of public opinion matters.
And it's very fast on the decision.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So people come to the conclusion.
Right.
Just based on a snippet. They fill in the blanks with whatever they got in their head, whatever experience led them to whatever it may be.
Right.
And then that's their opinion, and they are going to voice it. Everybody needs to know it. And I feel like it's so common these days, especially on social media. Everybody on social media is right.
Right. Right.
And their opinion is fact. Right.
And they're going hard on it.
Yeah. Double down.
Now, let me ask you this. And earlier I stated that, I feel like, Black Twitter kind of go hard, or just people in general, kind of go hard without context, right? On certain people. I don't feel like they did that with Jeffrey Epstein. It wasn't no whole Jeffrey Epstein kind of thing. And people knew before the feds came, right? People know. It was things being said before the feds came.
Right.
Harvey Weinstein. It was things being said before they came and got him. Right? And even after the allegations, it wasn't this whole like hang 'em kind of like, rallied around, people had like an opinion, and is, the people is kind of, the court of public opinion is really affecting this, right? Like it did with Kels. I feel like the court of public opinion really affected Kels.
This after this last time?
Yeah, basically.
Well, the first time there was nothing.
First time it was nothing, right? Also, it's hard to have the court of public opinion when the internet is not what it is now.
Right.
Right. So I think back then it just wasn't what it was now.
But I feel like people think rich people are...
They put them on a pedestal?
Yeah, they're different because they're rich. It's kind of like a different culture almost. You know what I mean? Like, we talked about Epstein, like, it's almost like a different culture. because he's rich, because he's so rich and he's dealing with other rich people.
Like, so you think that, but, okay, so you saying that because he's rich and powerful, he's dealing with other powerful people, we kind of put him in another category.
Right. He's not one of us. Whereas Tiffany Haddish, she's kind of one of us.
Okay.
Kind of very, like, down to earth.
Regular, but she's rich too.
Right. But she's not Epstein rich.
No.
Nowhere near.
No.
But, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a weird connection with being one of us.
Do you feel like the same way with like R. Kelly?
Yeah.
You feel like,
I feel like the second time around.
okay, let me ask you this. Do you feel like they're one of us because they're black? Do you think that's the difference?
I think that's partly it.
Right.
I think that's partly it, right? Because black people, we have certain expectations on the different crimes that are committed, right?
Right.
If you see a black serial killer, it hits a little bit differently, right?
Okay.
Than all the other serial killers. The black serial killer, it just
it does.
doesn't.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. But I also feel like, by jumping to conclusions, by kind of, having a stance before we have the full picture, affects like people's careers and their livelihood.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're not really giving them a chance.
They have no chance.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's wrong when other people from other cultures that may be richer, they actually have a chance. Yo, we watched I don't even want to say her first name, but Jeffrey Epstein girlfriend.
Okay.
She got less time than Kels. Right?
Right.
Now she all the way involved in it. She might be more involved in it than Jeffrey.
Maybe.
Right?
But Jeffrey was killed. Right.
But there's no like mob of people that's like, she need life. There's none of that.
Mm-mm.
There's no like outpour of like, Tanger. It ain't no mob of people.
Maybe there was. I don't know. I didn't watch any of the news coverage of it.
Because it's feds.
Right.
So,
but not like in the courtroom, but just even like around
like people covering it.
Around the courthouse or anything like that. I
Right.
don't know what was happening. They might have had like the protest.
But it wasn't as big to the point where it's noticeable. I feel like once that R. Kelly like documentary came out.
Yeah, that was the documentary.
It was over.
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey had a documentary too, right? Regular.
I don't think hardly anybody watched it.
Huh?
I don't think hardly anybody watched it.
I don't know, but it was like
it was slower too.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I watched it, but I feel like it was slower. So then,
and I think the reason why was because so many people didn't know him.
Maybe.
So they had to kind of like tell his whole story and
right, who she was.
Right, they just go right into it. Yeah, the nigga was with R. Kelly.
Right.
So,
but R. Kelly has a history too.
Definitely.
So like if OJ ended up back on a documentary about killing people, you know what I mean?
Right.
It would be an outrage at that point.
Right.
Because you should have stopped with the one before. You should have just let it go.
But I agree,
mm-hmm.
but I don't a little bit because I feel like Michael Jackson was innocent.
Okay.
He had several allegations of child molestation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he ever touched a kid.
Okay, but they were not. He wasn't found guilty.
Right, but what I'm saying is,
his documentary.
not just the documentary because you mentioned that OJ, if another, somebody else die.
I'm just saying the documentary comes out about other people dying
With OJ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like it could be kind of like the Neverland documentary. It could be gassed. It could be like, come on, like now this is the thing that I'm talking about, where the court of public opinion already say he guilty.
Right.
It don't matter what the fuck really happened. Like just like with the Neverland, right? These two dudes came out and said this about Mike, based on the history that we believe, right? They automatically like, oh, well, he guilty.
But I think the circumstances around them coming out with that documentary made it questionable, right?
Right.
So I think if you pay attention to what is going on around the documentary and what's going around, like, with them, right?
Yeah.
So he's dead.
Right.
Before he died, there was no allegations. You actually denied that it actually happened.
It was like 10 years after he died.
Right. And so now your money's stopping from the estate, which you're no longer going to get money anymore. So now I'm suing.
Because I was raped, and I ain't know I was raped.
But no, I'm suing before that. I'm suing for a piece of the estate denied by the judge. And so now the allegations come.
Right, okay.
So I think that is different than
OJ
or, well, OJ's made up, but the R. Kelly situation where it's, I mean, there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it isn't part of that like Me Too movement too. So,
right.
So I think with like the Me Too movement, there was a lot of allegations that.
Right. For no reason.
Again, I don't know what.
Everybody damn near been touched.
I don't know if they were actually touched though, or just made to feel uncomfortable, which I think are two different things.
Okay.
But even the people that are made to feel uncomfortable felt like they were a part of the movement.
A girl out of nowhere said that Usher gave her herpes.
Right.
And I'll like, and this is the thing that I don't like about public opinion being so like,
quick.
Yeah. It's because you gotta know that if public opinion becomes as powerful as a jury, people gonna come out the woodwork and say anything.
Right.
Anything.
And hope for a settlement.
Hope for a settlement, man. Just make me go away. 400,000, I'll leave you alone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the thing I don't like about this whole like, wait, we kind of like jump into conclusion. Let's wait until we actually, and I know people are just not gonna do this, but let's wait until we get the rest of the story. Let's wait till we get a little more context about what's going on, and then let's make a judgment, right?
Right.
Let the facts come out, right? But before we even do that, we already like, oh my God. Some of the stuff I was hearing about Aries and Tiffany was like, yo, wait a minute. Like, let's get context first. Like, I don't just assume that they were Jeffrey and his, you know what I mean? Like, they were saying they're like grooming.
Right.
Grooming?
Right.
Like, what is considered, I need to know what is considered grooming.
Well, yeah, you kind of just like set somebody up to think that it's okay.
Okay.
So we watched that one
clip.
The clip on YouTube with the guy who was molesting. It was like 300 people he had molested.
Okay.
The one on YouTube.
Oh yeah. The guy.
Yeah, the guy.
Jack. Is his name Jack?
Right.
Okay. All right, buddy.
And so he was kind of going through like how he picks his people and what he looks for, what criteria he has on who would be a good candidate for him.
Right.
Right. It's just crazy. But I think that's part of the grooming process, right? So I can pick who I feel would be a good candidate, and then I give them special attention, or what was that crazy? Remember that crazy family that the neighbor was messing with everybody? The mama, the daddy, the kids.
Oh yeah.
On
On Netflix. Yeah. Where he was like, the dad gave him a hand job.
Right.
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Right. So that's the grooming. He was a good groomer because he got everybody, right?
Right.
Made them feel special, make them feel like this is okay, this is good, you're
helping out.
helping, whatever it may be. It's just disgusting. But that's the kind of grooming process where you're not necessarily doing anything, but you're preparing, like you're setting the stage.
Okay. And let me just say something just so I can get it out of my system. The dad gave this man a hand job. All right, now we can move forward. So I don't think they did that within, you know, I don't think they did, I don't think their grooming process was that, right? I mean, I'm just saying, you know, I mean, I don't know, just like anybody else, but if it's based on just the skit, then I don't think, you know, they groomed them in that way right now. They might have been like, no, you got to do it like this, do it like that in order to kind of get the
scene right.
Yeah.
Right.
But grooming to,
I don't know, unless something happened, that would be the only thing that I could see. Like if something actually happened, right?
Right.
So you're doing this skit, this disgusting skit. You're telling them do this, do that, do this, do that, and then something happens.
Right.
I can see that.
Right. I can see that them saying that that's grooming.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. And also I understand how, you know, lawyers could kind of use wording to make shit seem like it's worse than what it is when there's money involved.
I mean, yeah.
So I get it. So I just think that, like I said, we need to like calm the fuck down and let everything come out before we start, like, you know, kind of help destroying these people's careers. You know?
Yeah.
Now I don't think that if they did do this shit, I think they need to be arrested and sued and everything else. Shit. But until we know for sure, you know,
What happened?
What happened, man? What is this based off of? Is it some underlying stories? You know what I mean? Did Tiff fall out with her friend? Is this behind the shit that, you know, Aries said about Lizzo? You know what I mean? You just never know. Just never know when you with them alphabet people. So, you just never know, man. It was really bothering me that, like, damn, like, y'all can't wait. It's almost like they couldn't wait for like some dirt to come out on. I don't like to see, like, I don't want to see no kids hurt.
Right.
But also I don't want to see people being accused of something that, you know, it really wasn't like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was just a shitty ass skit, and you know, so for me, it just, you know, it was really bothering me. I had to get it out.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all we got. I'm glad you're able to get that out off your chest.
Yeah, man, it was bothering me.
Bothering you very much so. So we could just follow up as we get more information on it.
Yeah, we could do that.
Just throw it in here and there. So as we get more details, do some more research.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for listening. And as always,
mental health is real and self-care is important. We out.